Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home.
Hello and welcome to our first episode in 2024. So sorry it's been a while. We've been busy. I'm here with my co-host Sandra.
Hi.
We're here on Real Uncut, another episode of Real Uncut. It's our first one of 2024. We're so sorry that we haven't done one yet. It has just been a busy start to the year. We both took a little bit of time off over the Christmas period, which was basically
Not enough time.
And then January was crazy in the clinic. February was crazy. And now we're in March. And
it's still crazy.
It's still crazy.
We're here on a Monday. That's the only difference. Is usually we
Yeah.
get Mondays off, but we took this Monday to be in clinic. And that's the only reason we have time to get this done.
Yeah.
Is because we're missing a personal day to get it done.
Yeah, so that's crazy that we're doing that. And it's probably a good reason about the topic today. So the topic we want to talk to is more on the personal side of things. We're hoping to reach out to other professionals, maybe in the Ottawa area or maybe outside the Ottawa area, around that balance of being a parent, but also being an entrepreneur or a business owner or a professional in whatever you're doing. And are we doing it right in 2024?
Yeah.
Are we doing it wrong? What is the right balance? Who feels guilty? Because I know I feel guilty a lot of the times. I know you feel.
I feel very guilty.
Yeah.
I think though, since, I don't want to bring up the C word, but since COVID and the shutdowns, it has changed, I think, a lot of people's opinion on work, home life balance, but I don't know if it has for me.
Yeah.
I think I'm still working just as hard now, harder now than I did before. Mind you, it's an unfair comparison because I was an employee before, whereas now I'm a business owner. But I think that I see a lot more people valuing their, their personal life. They're not working as hard as they used to. I find and I'm not referring to our employees because I think they're amazing, but I think I'm thinking of places I go, like the restaurant businesses and retail. I feel like I'm hearing of more people really putting more effort into their home life. I feel like I'm not, and I feel horrible, admitting it, but it's very hard to keep that balance, I think. To be home enough for your family, but to be at work enough for your work family, it's a very tough balance. And I don't think I don't want to say I'm not good at it. I'm trying my best, but I think that there's lots of areas that I could improve.
I think it's the hardest thing I'm trying to do in my life right now.
Right.
Because I felt like during COVID, because it was such a tough time for our industry, well, a lot of industries, but
Right.
It was a tough time for our industry because we were shut down essentially. So as entrepreneurs in our industry, we either had to find new revenue streams or we had to reinvent ourselves to stay afloat financially
For
while
our
still
families.
working in the industry. But I think it created this situation where our work became our home, and it was so easy to pop down to my wife and I have an office downstairs. It was so easy just to pop down to that office.
Right.
And all of a sudden you were down there for 12 hours instead of the 8
Right.
hours you're supposed
It used
to be down
to be
there.
much more separated.
Yeah, and I
before.
just think we created that habit over 2 or 3 years of you have to be on that grind or you have to be working, that when we came out of it, that habit had already been created.
Right.
And that's the scary thing for me.
Yep.
And then obviously us having such having a small business and it's still at its infancy stage. I'd like to think
Right.
our
It
business is still
We're
at its
4 years,
infancy
just about
stage.
4 years in. That's
Yeah,
a baby
and
still.
It is. Well, you think 80% of businesses in Canada don't survive that 5-year mark.
That's a scary statistic.
It is a scary
That's scary.
statistic. And it's our baby, and we live in a funny industry where you're a provider from Monday to Friday, say 9 till 5, the odd late night, you do the odd Saturday, but then you also have the business side of it outside of that, providing for patients. So it's kind of we wear 2 hats.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've found it really difficult. And I think in 2024, I've started off a lot better than I was last year, but I still think I have some improvements to make, but it's tough.
You know, I'm going to throw you under the bus here and repeat something you said to me in the last few weeks. And so Nathan and I, of course, are always, messaging back and forth and phoning back and forth and whatnot. But we were discussing business, and he said, I've got to get back into the swing of things. Sort of, he said, I've been spending too much time with my family. We were messaging each other, and I said to him, I was with my husband. I said, okay, I got to call Nathan because I do not like what he just said. Like, and I know you meant it in the, in a positive, like not a positive way, but like I know you didn't mean it in a negative way towards your family, because our goal is everything we're doing is for our families, right? 100%. So it's just kind of crazy though to hear you say that. And I think I feel the same way, I just don't vocalize it. But to hear you say, I've been spending too much time with my family, right? To really throw it out there is such a, in my opinion, not a good, I just hit my mic, by the way, not a good thing to say, because we want to encourage our employees to make sure they're not working, hard, obviously, but not too hard, and spend time, value their family and their personal time and whatnot. So we should be doing the same thing. So then to hear you say that sort of put me in check a little bit as to like, okay, no, I got to make sure Nathan knows that, spending time with his family is where he should be, you know, because you're the type, and I don't do this as much as you do. You're bad for this, but you'll work till like, I don't know, 2, 3 in the morning sometimes. And he comes in just drained and, eyes are red, and I can tell he hadn't slept, and he got all of his, after hours work done that it would usually take me a week to do. He'll do it in one night, but
You get on a roll though, and I'm 100% guilty for it, but you get on a roll, and sometimes I'm like, if I work a little bit extra tonight, it means I'm going to have that extra couple of hours in the weekend.
Fair.
To really, like, whether it's like in the winter, I did a lot of skiing with my family. I absolutely loved it because my kids are getting to that age where we can ski on the hill. And I'm always thinking during the week, if I can get just that little bit extra more, it means
quality time on the weekend.
Means on the weekend, maybe I can shut it off.
Undivided attention for them.
And it is a scary thing because you feel that guilt because you're not looking after your babies at home, but then you feel that guilt because you're not looking after your other baby, which is your business.
It's funny though, because you see, like when I think of Nathan that was spending too much time with his family, which was not, if anything, we're not spending enough time with our family, but when I think of Nathan spending too much time with his family versus Nathan, rewind a year ago, there was you were different. Like you were, I don't want to say happier, because you're always quite a happy, smiley guy, but you just seemed, there was a difference in you, like in a positive way, right? So that just goes to say how much we should be trying harder to, have that balance. I don't want to say spend time on what matters, because the business obviously matters a lot to both of us. But yesterday, I just got back from vacation, and not yesterday, but last Monday. But yesterday was my only day off. We were here Saturday. I worked, I got home Monday. We worked Tuesday to Saturday.
We worked some late nights there.
We had some. One night, you said we left at 10. We actually left at 11. So we left at 11 and then back at, 10 the next day for a Saturday.
We had a late night Wednesday as well in the clinic.
Late night Wednesday. And then yesterday, I'm going to be honest, I did nothing. And I felt horrendous. Like my house totally needs to be clean right now. My husband isn't feeling so well right now. He's dealing with some back pains and stuff. So we definitely didn't get as much done this weekend. And I felt like I was lazy, or I was being, I don't know. I wasn't giving enough attention to my house. But like, I think you need to just do that sometimes. Like just do nothing and give yourself that minimum day to do nothing. And it's not, you need to stop harping on yourself as if it's such a negative thing and as if you've, accomplished nothing, because your body really needs to rest. Like, I didn't end up going into the gym this morning. I was on my way there, messaged her and I said, I just need a day. And I've been guilty of this lately, but I think we're still catching up, I think, from 2023. Yeah. Although I was on vacation, vacations, especially with kids, are always insane. You don't want to waste the day, so you want to get out and get as much done as you can. And then you come back drained from that. And so I think that, I would love to try to focus on for 2024 a better balance, but I'm 41 years into this life. Like, I don't know if I can make that change, right?
Well, I think we have to, and the reason why we're doing this podcast is we have a lot of friends, we have a lot of colleagues in the industry that are going through the same conversation, and I posted something on my personal Instagram a few weeks ago around this, and I got a lot of feedback from other entrepreneurs, other professionals in all sorts of different industries around parents struggling with this conversation. And so we just think that with everything going on in the world right now, that our world is a little bit weird at the moment, that our kids really need us. And it's kind of funny because Sandra and I have kids at different ages as well, but your kids need you just as much as what my kids need me as well, even though they're different ages. We know, and obviously being providers in such a, sometimes our what we do for our patients is therapeutic as well as like cosmetic as well.
I would say almost more therapeutic. The injections and the laser treatments are just like the, bonus on top for them.
So we hear these stories. So we wanted to do this podcast more as to say that, like, we hear everyone out there. We hear the struggles that you're going through. You're not alone. And we hope that if one person listens to this podcast and feels a little bit better about their situation, they're not alone, and maybe goes home and starts writing some goals down for themselves in 2024, because Sandra and I are definitely, we're lucky we're in such an understanding partnership where I know Sandra, every few months she needs her get away to Mexico.
I think or you just allow me to go because I'll be like a monster if you don't let me go. And I'm okay to admit that.
But it's great. Like, it's great. And then Sandra knows I need my skiing, my golf for my family. Obviously, my trips back home to my extended family in New Zealand. And I think it's good that we have a partnership like that, because we need to give so much energy to our patients when we're in here, and we need to give so much energy to our staff as well, that, like, if Sandra and Nathan aren't happy, Refined Image Ottawa is not happy. I think that's probably the best way to explain
1,000,000%. Like, I'm guilty of, overworking and being overstressed, and unfortunately coming into work and allowing other people to feel that. And that is one of my pet peeves. I don't want that. I don't think that's a good idea. So I made one, well, I guess I shouldn't say I don't make changes. I do recognize, I am pretty good at being self-aware. I do recognize areas that need improvement. So I was seeing sometimes anywhere from 15 to 20 patients a day, and I went into my schedule and I made my appointment times longer. So I spend more time with each client. So I'm seeing less clients in a day, but I don't feel as overwhelmed at the end of the day, because as you said, it's the therapeutic portion. As in, we talk to you guys a lot about your personal life, and I personally absorb a lot of that energy. I think so. You go home at the end of the day and you're absolutely exhausted. So I think I hit a point in October, November, December, somewhere around there or maybe all of those months last year, where I just felt beyond drained, and I wasn't happy anywhere. I wasn't happy at work. I wasn't happy at home. I wasn't happy at the gym. I was just exhausted. So I made that change, and I find that's really helped a lot. So that's one thing. And I think, Nathan, you started sort of spending more time skiing with your family, which was nice to see, but it's something we need to maintain. We have to keep doing these little things so that we don't feel as overwhelmed, and that our staff and each of us don't feel.
And I've also made changes to the availability of myself outside Rio as well. So as a consultant in the industry, I'm doing a lot more events, and I'm doing a lot less consulting when I have to travel.
Fair, but so I thought you meant, one thing I think you need to work on, and I'm good at pointing out what Nathan needs to work on, is I think, Nathan, and I remember doing this in the beginning, and it's draining, is that you have to set boundaries with Nathan outside of Rio hours to Rio. I wouldn't say employees. They're pretty good to us. They don't really bother us off hours unless they really need us. But as much as we adore our patients, there's a lot of you guys. So to give ourselves to you guys after hours constantly is a lot for us as well. So I think that Nathan is still learning to set boundaries with answering emails that don't, they can wait a few days. I
get itchy.
You do, and I understand. And hey, listen, I appreciate it, because then I don't have to. But at the same time, that's unfair to you. So I think that, I think our patients and our clients, like, they're aware. We will get back to them. It's okay if they wait a day or two, especially over the weekend. I've gotten a lot better at that, and I think that's one thing you need to work on now. But I don't want you to point out what I need to work on now. I don't want to hear it.
I think that's a good moment to leave this podcast.
Perfect. And
I'm
time's
not
up.
gonna,
Time
is
up.
up.
We don't have enough time.
We're at around the 15
Yeah,
minute
we don't
mark,
have enough time to work on or talk about what I need to work on.
Yeah, happy work wife, happy life. So I'm
Fair.
going to keep it at that. No, so I hope this podcast reaches 1-2 people and makes them feel a little bit better that everyone, I think a lot of parents and business professionals without children as well
Yep.
are going through a tough patch because our world it's different.
Yep.
It's I think our world has gone through so many changes that like it's very, very different to what it was like when I grew up as a kid.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Well,
very, very different.
you would have grown up in New Zealand too, though.
Yeah,
So
I know, but
definitely different.
But Canada and New Zealand, very similar. Like, I just think I
agree.
I look at my parents and the way they parented us and the time that they had and the way technology wasn't so invasive in our
Right.
lives.
Yeah.
And versus what we're going through, this new generation of technology and us being parents, it's a very, very different lifestyle.
Agreed.
And I think there's no rule book or there's no textbook. I think everyone's struggling to navigate it. So keep writing down goals, keep trying to improve yourself. We're trying to do that at Rio. We're not just trying to improve your skin. We're trying to also improve ourselves. So we're better providers for you when you come in to talk to us about your skin. So we will leave it at that. Another episode of Rio Uncut, the first one of 2024. Now, this is the first ever one that is live on video as well. So we're going to be uploading these to YouTube and using some of the content for Instagram as well, which is going to be kind of cool.
It's a big step for me because
It
we all
is
know
huge.
how much I hate talking in front of
It
them.
is huge. Like, it was good to get Sandra on the mic last year, but now we've got her on the video this year. So we're hoping to bring a lot more.
That's what actually happened. That's why we didn't come back on for a few months, as I needed to recover.
So we're hoping to bring you more content. And if you like it, please share it. Reach out to us. Send us messages on other topics you would like us to cover. Until then, we'll see you on the next episode of Real Uncut. Or we will see you in the clinic. Even better. Take care, guys.
Go hard,